Meanwhile, back with Runan's party. Wow, it's been a while since we've saw him and Eugen. Yes, refreshed in spirit after we've spent 6 chapters away from them. But for Runan, it's probably only been like maybe a few weeks. Even less than that. So while Holmes is off adventuring and earning some favour with Lionheart, hunting monsters, Runan is going to take the fight to the Empire. And he's heading straight for Fort Bolt, the place where Raphael failed earlier. I was going to say in the game, but it wasn't even in the game, it was off screen, so earlier in history, I guess. Oh no, yes, we don't want to put our infantry off this city in case the enemy runs an infantry in and takes it back from us. Aha! I'm all ears. Whenever Eugen has a brilliant plan, it's always something to behold. And we'd also get an ally into the bargain. We're gonna tell him to attack somewhere and then not help him. Isn't that like the classic way that villains get rid of allies who've outlived their usefulness? Yes, I'm totally gonna send you reinforcements! These reinforcements are definitely coming soon, don't worry! But no, Runan is the classic lord, he isn't gonna have any of that. So, we're going to be taking back both Selba and Fort Bolt, which they already said. Meanwhile, at said city of Selba, it's Corrupt Cravat Noble number, I'm pretty sure Coda had a cravat, so this would be number 3, because I'm pretty sure that, I have forgotten the whip guy's name. Yep, you are officially sandwiched, Mr. Buttchin. And so the Imperial Army have moved out. Let's check them out here. Yeah, we can see that the zombies are still on the map here, but we can't see Holmes' army or anything. They're currently resting in an inn. But yes, we have Duke Carnell, who is bad, but he has a main gaunch for evasion, and he also has the Salian Codex, which raises strength, skill, speed, and defense growths by 10% while held. People were actually wondering if, like, the Crusader Scrolls were, like, they were saying, oh, if only the Crusader Scrolls were in this game. They kind of are. We also have Marshall the Bishop, who, yep, Meteor exists. Only 2 to 5 range in this game, though, but 15 weight means it's going to completely kill your attack speed. And these escorts, they all have some annoying shields, but they have decent items on hand, too. And then we also have these defenders. Bow Riders, a Ballistician, not a tank, an actual Ballistician. We haven't seen those for a while. They're still counted as armors though, which is interesting, so Armor Slayers will work. Axe Soldiers, and we also have 2 Great Knights. One with an Armor Slayer. So we're doing an interesting assortment of forces there. It's actually been a while. I'm going to need to go ahead and do status and check out my party here. Yeah, Runan is not looking that great right now. But we do actually have Mince in our party at this point, and regardless of how you recruited him in the last map, which was Chapter 10, he will always join you at this point, so I guess I can give Mince's bio now. If you remember Roger, Mince is basically a better version of that. He's a pre-promoted mounted unit, which is always a good thing on Runan's route, with very solid but not amazing base stats and growth rates, though his growths are pretty decent by the standards of pre-promotes in this game, especially his defense. He can also use pylons at base, but the main asset he has is starting with two fantastic skills, Wrath and Flurry. You will have seen by now how strong Flurry is, and with even a little bit of missing HP, Flurry plus Wrath can result in a lot of critical hits too. He doesn't start out with Canto and he never learns it by level up, but he does have an event in Chapter 18 that gives him a Canto Scroll, and he has pretty much uncontested access to it at this point. So overall, Mince is just another no investment unit that is pretty much a no-brainer choice whenever you have an extra deployment slot. Oh, we also have Sharon and Bilford. And, Mariel is here. Zig is as amazing as ever, but Holmes' crew are catching up to him with all those moguls they've been killing for experience. Raffen is now a newly promoted Wyvern Knight, so that's going to be really, really fun. And Naren is, as always, Naren. Raquel is still Raquel, and Tom is still Tom. I'm going to need to do quite a lot of inventory management before I move out, so I'll see you back here after that. Okay, what's notable is that I have a bridge key. The bridge key is decently useful here. Okay, the shop at Sine sells iron shields. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these now, but I think we are actually stopping over here again after Chapter 17 before Chapter 18. Chapter 18 is kind of insane, so you definitely want to be prepared for that. And so when we move out here, we have a scene in Blood. Well, I mean, getting support from Sine is probably not a good thing. Hopefully that place cleans up its act after the Empire's left. Richard does seem to be pretty interested in Runan's exploits. Speaking of young, Lionheart has this, well, one, he actually has a history of fighting at a young age, and two, he has this weird issue with his age that was kind of a thing in the original Japanese script that the fan translation cleaned up a little bit. So yeah, Leonie was a freedom fighter who was serving Lionheart. Yeah, the whole central war involving Salia is getting pretty complicated. Because Holmes is now actually involved. So, with Holmes defending Blood, and that's something that we will be getting to a bit later, because, as I said, we'll be coming back to him eventually. Lionheart is free to go out and help Runan. I do really like the way the routes are intersecting at this point. It's kind of the culmination of what's been happening on Holmes' route bleeding into what's about to happen on Runan's. Because Runan wasn't directly involved in the war in Salia yet, but he's about to be. I need to look up exactly what, like, the position Viceroy entails, because I mostly remember it from Star Wars Episode 1, which is still a film that I actually find so bad it's good. So, Lionheart's army is going to be attacking Carnell before we do. So it's time for a three-way fight. Which I guess Kaga did first, because there's also a pretty significant one of those in Three Houses. Hero of the Plains. This music is called Victory is Ours. We've heard it in cutscenes, but we have not heard it as a map theme before. It's one of my favourite map themes in this game, probably my favourite. So, anyway, This is a very interesting map. If we can't check conditions yet, but we do need to go up here and seize, but this guy has a physics staff and meteor to support his troops from afar. There's also a couple of Great Knights here, and yes, if you don't have a bridge key for this bridge, you're forced to have Runan take the long way round across this ford and go all the way up that direction. We also have a couple of houses over there. Make sure to visit them for items. There will be enemy mounted thieves showing up eventually. And we also have Lionheart and the Selvan troops. So Lionheart has a Shamshir and an Iron Bow, and some pretty great skills too. Soul, Adept, Canto, and Grass Runner, which this map is a Plains map. And we also have some Selvan Nomads, and also this guy, Shiro, who's only barely better than a generic Nomad, and also, yeah, they all have better mastery than he does. Bear that in mind. They have shields, they're unlikely to die, but I can say now that Shiro will join you after this map is over if you keep him alive. Lionheart, I'm pretty sure he can't die in this map anyway. Lionheart is not going to join just yet. This map, I think, has a very creative gimmick to it. So here we have these escorts these escorts. They all carry some very valuable items, and eventually Carnell will join them, and they'll be attempting to flee the map. You want to catch them and kill them to take their items before they can run away. It's kind of a nice incentive for moving quickly in this chapter. And for that reason, this is one of those maps that I have actually gone and looked up online where everyone deploys in terms of the deployment slots. And slots 4, 5, 6, and 7 all go up in the front. 6 and 7 are the best positions to pursue Carnell and his troops. Oh, okay, so, the website that I'm using for this, it doesn't count Runan and Enter as positions, so in fact, I'm looking for positions 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the order. So 6, 7, 8, and 9 will be Mintz, Naren, Raffin, and Zeeg. Position number 10 starts a little bit further back though, so I need to remember that. In terms of other people we can deploy here, I mean, it's not like these people are really going to help that much, but Tom may actually do okay here. I guess I could put him there, maybe. Kind of want Muriel. Sharon is not going to be great here, but she's better than nothing, I guess. But I mean, I suppose Bilford can at least tank if I want him to, and he has a steel blade. I'm going to convoy that iron shield. I want to save it for the next chapter. Speaking of which, yeah, you're swapping that out for a leather shield. Even though Mintz's defense is all-round really solid, and by the way, here are the weapons that I've gone with on everyone else, there's been a lot of preamble for this chapter, so let's get going. Yep, so here comes my front line of cavalry. I like this sort of, I don't know what I call it, like fake flute kind of sound to this music. It just has a very kind of Plains feel to it, this song. I noticed a house with a blue roof, and while I don't remember 100% off the top of my head, I am pretty sure it's a skill, it teaches you Grass Runner. Oh boy, yeah, don't do that! I think if an NPC kills someone with a droppable item, you lose it, just like in a lot of Fire Emblem games. Also, doesn't this guy look like the paragon of virtue? Definitely less obviously evil looking than Carnell, though. I've been in similar situations. I'm very good at running away. The thing is, actually, for looking a little bit, kind of mean, this bishop is not that bad of a guy by the standards of the antagonists in this game. Well, I mean, not all of you, maybe you, though. Maybe just you. Yeah, see, this guy is actually not, like, Marshall's not all that bad. Don't act like this is my fault. I only treated the civilians really cruelly and, was thinking of allying with the cult and handed over one of Lionheart's men to be horribly tortured and possibly worse by one of my colleagues. Yes, none of that's my fault at all. All of that was completely following orders. Well earned, yeah, right. So yeah, I'm sorry I insulted this guy's, look earlier. I actually feel really bad for him. Because despite him wanting to surrender, we do have to kill him to finish the chapter because it is C's. And like a lot of the enemy commanders we've been fighting so far on Runan's route, he is being threatened. Yeah, that work camp, again. It's a great motivator, isn't it? Now, remember this, because this is going to be important, but he's not going to show up for a while, like turn 10. You can end this map long before he shows up. Okay, let's go. So I know that these two Great Knights here are actually going to come charging down towards us early, and Muriel can't one-shot them because she doesn't really double, and yeah, she doesn't have enough might to outright one-shots. Also, I found out the house that Mince has to visit is actually this one. So it's going to take him quite a while to get there. I might have Mince here, like start out around this area to hold off the Great Knights, while my broken trio, Zieg, Naren, and Raffin are going to head over this way to intercept Carnell and his squad. They do need to watch out for a few of the archers here, but they're generally going to be, also the ballista, but they're going to be kept occupied by Lionheart's troops anyway. Also, I need to remember to turn Raffin's battle animations back on. And then there's that guy. Okay, so... Runan is still very weak, and I need to remember that. In fact, though... Oh, who did I give the magic shield to? I forget who I gave the magic shield to. Oh, Raffin. I actually think I should have given it to Runan because of the boss, but you'll see why later. And let's have Tom go ahead and visit this. Weirdly, Tom is actually somewhat useful against the initial rush of enemies. So yeah, this house is not the house that I was thinking about. Well, that's Lionheart's job, but we can at least help. This is definitely a nice house to enter, though, because it gives you a Levin sword. I remember back when I first played Shadow Dragon, I was kind of weirded out by the name Levin Sword, because they were called Thunder Swords in Japanese, because of the character Levin from Fire Emblem 4, who has been officially localized as Lewin now. I don't know if Lewin is, like, more or less accurate, I'm not sure, but, like, to what the original mythology was supposed to be. I might be able to lure one of them to take a little bit of damage from Mince, actually. Let's try that. And he has a fresh Killer Lance, which might end up going to Raffin eventually. And that's everyone moved. I'm pretty sure that blue-roofed house is gonna be, I think it's called Grass Runner. I keep forgetting what it is, because it's not really that useful of a skill, but like, or Plainsman. No, it is Plainsman in this, and then it's like Forest Runner for the Forest one. But I think the Forest one is a bit less useful. There aren't a lot of Forest maps in the game, although the next map is a Forest map, and it's one of the hardest in the game, so I guess it's useful for that one. Yeah, see, that guy, that bow rider just put him into range of a lot of Lionheart's men. The hilarious thing is, I've had this guy attack Tom before, and he actually doesn't kill him. He doesn't double, and Tom only takes like half of his health from it because his defense is so high. And because Armor Slayer only has 7 might, so it gets tripled to 21, which is still high, but it's not like the highest it could be. Now that guy actually is in range for an exploding from Muriel. 21. She actually does survive if I put her there, But at the same time, she also will die if the Javelin guy attacks her. So I can show something fun though. Flurry with a Pylum. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage on each hit, and it is a little bit random how many times it'll attack. I could also Flurry with 11 Sword if I traded that over to him. Probably should have done that because the 11 Sword would have been doing 8 damage with a Flurry. But I got more attacks. Okay, I got lucky there. In an earlier attempt of this chapter, he only got 3 hits with Flurry, but he got 5 and crit the last one. That's actually really amazing. That's kind of rare though, you can't really rely on that, but usually, Pylum Flurry is enough to one-round most things. It's just the very, very defensive enemies that doesn't. And even those enemies, you can just 11 Sword Flurry them. Although if you only get like 3 hits with your Flurry on 11 Sword, it's just a bit, yeah. I do kind of like the name Flurry. I think it was still called Charge in Japanese, which is the same name of the skill from FE4, and they call it Accost in some of the fan translations. I do think it's a bit better than Charge. Okay, Runan could fight this guy, but I don't know if, yeah, I'm gonna W with the steel. I still need to do 10 times 2 with that. I'd probably rather use the rapier. Because, like, Runan's not gonna one round anyway. I may have to heal him after this, though, because Runan, it's taking a while to adjust to the different parties, and Runan is actually very weak for this point in the game, so I need to be careful of his health and general, all-round, life, because he has a tendency to go splat if you're not careful, especially against things like Meteor. So, Raffin, like, the downside of Raffin being a flyer is that he now has to stay out of range of, archers. But the upside of him being a flyer is everything else. I should be able to stop, like, about on the corner of that river, and... not quite, but I can stop there. And lure in... this guy, and just have Raffin take him out. Meanwhile, Zieg and Naren are just going to run as fast as they can, so that they can catch these fleeing, and then I guess you call them the Gingerbread Man, because they're running away and they think that we'll never catch them, but little do they know that we will catch them, quite easily at that. Raquel, I normally put her over here to deal with the boss, but I wonder if she could help us whittle down shields and weaken the fleeing enemies. I mean, her speed is terrible, but... in terms of, like, actual movement, but... maybe she will be able to help out. And eventually there are going to be reinforcements from up here. So I suppose something that I actually kind of want to mention about Lionheart is that a lot of people in the comments of the first video where he appeared said that he looks like Jesus, and... here's the really weird thing, that thought never crossed my mind at all. I don't know why it didn't, but it never crossed my mind. Because, so in Japanese, the Nomad class was called Horseman, the same class as in Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. And its promoted variant was called Mamluk. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but... yeah, it's a certain type of Middle Eastern warrior from the Crusades. So, to me, Lionheart, with his name and his appearance and class, always felt to me like a bit of a fusion of Richard the Lionheart and Saladin. Like, Kaga sort of got someone to represent both sides of the Crusades. That's kind of how I always saw him. For some reason, I just never even saw the Jesus comparison at all. But okay, we're up to the point where we can start taking down Carnell, and he is designed to be as annoying as possible. He has a main gaunt to raise his evasion, and he also has a steel shield to give him 21 defense. So I would kind of like Naren to lethality him. I mean, I don't know if it's that likely because Naren's skill is not that great. He also has a decent amount of attack speed, so he's kind of hard to double, but I have a bit of a cunning plan here. So, if I attack him with Naren first... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Naren will be able to Kanto back 1. Actually, no, I'm not going to one-round him anyway, so I'm going to use this to double, because at least that will consume 2 uses of his shield. These guys having shields is actually really interesting for another reason. It's kind of precaution against the NPCs stealing your spoils. Because the NPCs will not be able to damage any of these fleeing escorts or Carnel, but they will whittle down their shields for you. So it's kind of cool because Saga went from a really badly designed map to a really well-designed map. I really like the gimmick of this one. It gives you a good incentive for moving quickly, and they also take precautions to make it harder for the allies to lose you your spoils. It's just really cool in general. Now, speaking of spoils, though, that guy with a magic shield, I can take him out with Zeke, probably. But can Zeke take out this guy? I don't quite double with that, and he does have a shield, so I doubt it. And then that guy has the secret potion. And that guy has the hero crest. It's like, you really want to go for the Salian Codex and the hero crest. The ballista and that guy are not covering Carnel, so Raffin could fly in and finish him off. Which I think is what I'll do here. I'll just use the regular old iron sword, which I do still even double with. But it's just kind of cool, like, the NPCs on this map usually help you, not hinder you. They can kill the archers to prevent your flyers from being harassed, because I usually have Sasha on this map. She really helps chasing down Carnel, especially with 11 sword. 11 Pegasi break these guys easily, but they're both on Holmes' route right now. And even to the end, he's defending his treasures. So we get the Salian Codex. I explained how that worked in the preamble to this map. It just raises growth rates while held. It's basically a Crusader scroll. I think I will keep Raffin there for now, even though the ballista can't actually damage him. You will get arrow spate off that ballista if you destroy it, but it's thankfully very unlikely the NPCs will kill it because of its shield, and the fact they like to prioritize the weaker enemies they can easily take out, and more weak enemies they can easily take out are going to be showing up very, very soon, so yeah, don't need to worry too much about the NPCs stealing your spoils here, and I really like that. Another thing about these NPCs, though, is they kind of suffer from, I wouldn't say suffer because it kind of keeps them out of the action, and again, also prevents them from stealing your spoils, but they have that kind of syndrome that's similar to the Crimean Knights from the Bridge chapter in Path of Radiance. Whenever they're even slightly damaged, they love to run away and use healing items. So yeah, that gets a little bit annoying, but I guess it's for the best since you want Shiro to survive here. I mean, it's very likely that he'll survive, but still, I mean, there's a very mild chance that he may be in danger of some things. Also, the escorts do not attack you. They will not even attempt to attack you, at least I don't think. They'll just entirely be focused on running away, so don't worry about, usually don't worry too much about putting your weak units in their range. Them not attacking you, I think, is also decent design. Because it means you have to actively go for them. You can't just bank on killing them with counterattacks. Again, it's actually a very well-designed map gimmick, and that's really strange given the horrible map last time. It's just... yeah, Saga, in terms of game design, Saga is weird. Sometimes he has really great maps, and other times he just says, hey, you know everything bad about Gaiden game design? Let's put all of that into a single map. So, Runan's approaching the boss now, and something to remember is that the boss, Meteor is 2 to 5 range. So this guy's range is shown here based on if he could move, but he doesn't move. So it's actually 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't go all the way up to the bridge, so I can actually safely have Runan go in there and open up the bridge, which I don't think I'll do yet though, because I have to stall this map out to turn 10 anyway, because if we look at conditions, seize or trigger events. That's weird. We'll understand what that means a little bit later. Unfortunately, you're going to have to start running for those villages, because eventually there are going to be thieves coming. Bilford doesn't like the idea of getting meteored, neither does Tom the artilleryman, but I guess he can just keep moving. And you do want to pay attention, this guy has no displayed attack right now, but he does have 12 magic, so Hellfire has 23 attack power, and Meteor has 21 attack power, it should have? Yeah, it'll be 21 attack power with bad accuracy, so any physical units with less than that much HP, keep them away from him. Because it's very difficult to kill him in a single turn because of his physic. He loves to heal his allies with physic, so he'll usually have it equipped. And his attack speed is annoyingly hard to double if he's equipping that. So, yeah. You can attack him, assume that you're safe because he's equipping physic, but you can't kill him, and then he attacks you with Hellfire, and then everyone has a bad time. So, don't do that. Okay, well, congratulations, it took you 4 men to kill 1 enemy. But yeah, as you can see here, these guys aren't going to hurt the escorts, but they are going to wear down their shields for us, so they only help you, really, they don't hinder you. Like, you have to get really by the time the escorts are possibly in danger of being killed by an NPC, they're probably long gone from the map. And yeah, as you can see, they're not attacking. So, yeah, it's just kind of cool how you don't need to worry about the NPCs stealing your kills here. And here's Poem, and he's a Mahen palette swap. That should tell you all you need to know about how competent he is. He's gonna send some grass runners on horses after the houses. Actually, that's not the class name. I think that's the class name of that person in Bearwick Saga who has who is a mounted thief. And they have a pref horse as well. But yeah, even the bandits are scared of Lionheart. But Poem has a cunning plan. He has that girl. So I wonder who that girl is. It's funny how many bandits are religious in this universe. Because Mahen is implied to be, given that he saved, Father Law. Unfortunately, we won't have an opportunity to actually fight Poem until I think it's turn 11 that it happens. And when he comes back, you want to probably make sure that you're in a position to seize immediately. And you should be, because this map shouldn't last that long. I mean, if Runan has to take the long way around, it might take a while, but even then, it's probably not going to last. You're probably going to get into the seize point by that turn. And the other good thing about these bandits is that they will keep these guys distracted, so they also have much less chance of stealing your spoils. Speaking of spoils, we need to take these guys down. You still have 4 uses on that shield. Yeah, okay, that guy has no shield anymore, though. That's interesting. That guy's got a pylum, so I can't really flurry him safely. And Mince doesn't have Canto, which is unfortunate. Because I would really like for him to... But again, we're stalling this map out anyway, so I can probably afford to stay back here and flurry. Flurry does do a real number on your weapon durability, but it's usually worth it. And pylums are super cheap and just easy to get more of. So let's do this. Okay, that's the shield gone. And, okay, didn't get one more hit in, but it at least got rid of the shield. Now, some of these people I may be able to take out even through their shields. 30, and you have 50... Oh, you have just enough HP to avoid that fate. But can you survive... Oh, Zeke doesn't double. Yeah, if Zeke only had 1 more speed, he actually would double. And then Raffin has... Okay, Yeah, I'm not too concerned about taking that ballista out now, because Raffin, I don't really need Raffin to be heading further into the map, especially not with that guy there. Raffin can probably take this guy, though. 23-9. That will, but I'd rather use the Pylum because I'd be risking breaking my weapon otherwise. Ah, I forgot to turn his animations on. And Raffin's battle animations in this class look really cool too, so that's annoying. We get the Hero Crest. We don't have a lot of people who can promote with that on this path. I'm going to keep the Salian Codex. There's no reason for him to hold on to that Hero Crest, since I'm not going to be, like, technically there's somebody in this chapter who will promote with that, but they're not going to get to promotion level here. Okay, let's see if we can wear down... Yep, that shield is definitely gone. It's funny how I usually, like, almost never run out of this Brave Bow, even though she gets it really early, and I often like using Raquel. I will probably need to Physic her, though. Thank goodness for Physic being unlimited range in this game. Because, yeah, you're down to 1, you're down to... Yeah, they're both gone. And both Zeke and Naren have Kanto at this point, so, yeah, let's go for some old hit and run. That Iron Lance is the kill count Iron Lance, so let's use this to, well, seal the kill. Let's get rid of this guy. It'd be kind of funny if I got lethality. No, I didn't, okay. Lethality would be useful against the Ballista too. And we get a Pylum. If, you know, as if Naren didn't need to be any better than he already is. Yeah, let's Kanto you over here. Not too worried about Meteor at all. Can Zeke just drive-by Tomahawk you? Yes, he can. I was worried that he'd have accuracy issues, but this is a really accurate weapon, and Zeke's stats are insane. It's still kind of amazing that despite his ridiculous growth rates, Z can still, like, his base stats are still, and class are still enough that he's so viable on a 0% growth run that 0% growth runs often cap out his level. He's that good. Yeah. Probably gonna wait until you're distracted before I start moving in with Runan on this bridge. I have old Bill over here. And yep, let's do what I promised and use this physics staff, which for some reason when I was younger, I liked to jokingly call the radio wave staff just because it was long range and its animations looked a little bit like radio waves. Just a dumb thing that I used to do. Anyway, that should be everything we can do that turn. Yeah, I was talking about, like, pref weapons. It was a term first introduced in FE7 to refer to personal weapons. I guess it was just what they could fit in the character limit in the weapon descriptions. I think it's, like, short for preferential or something, or preferred, but it means that only one character can use that weapon. It's not often that we see bow riders use bows and not crossbows. Oh no, you did 1 damage to Naren, whatever we do. Now, this Ballista actually does do somewhat decent damage to Naren. Not that that'll really help him. In fact, Naren is reasonably close to getting in range of the boss, too. Speaking of Naren, this guy has a Death Wish. Although the Steel Axe is going to hit reasonably hard, and its accuracy is actually decent for against Naren standards, but then that happens. People earlier were telling me about how some of my characters are getting really strength screwed, like how San didn't gain like a single point of strength and Shigen hasn't been gaining strength. The thing is that in this game, you don't need a lot of strength to kill enemies, and most enemies are very weighed down by their weapons and very easy to double. Also, this house is kind of amusing. Yeah, you're a little bit late to the party. Carnell's corpse is already kind of rotting in the field at the moment. Yeah, we got everything back from him already. But at least they're giving a little bit of lore on what the Salian Codex is and how it works in gameplay. I kind of wish this conversation changed if you'd already beaten Carnell, but oh well. Looks like they stole even more than what they were carrying. But we get a Sage's Cloak. I like how promotion items in this game are depicted as being, like, clothing or armor. I think that's kind of a cool way to do it, because, yeah, in the other games, it's just like the character magically gets more stuff out of nowhere, and sometimes magically gains a mount out of nowhere. Yeah, I think the only class in this game that goes from on foot to mounted with no explanation is Lady Knights to Bow Knight. So you've got 16. So I'm going to be doing 15. I think I'm going to be doing 15 times 2 to you, and I double. So I one round you even through the shield because Zeeg. And now it looks like I'm not even going to need to. I mean, I do kind of want Mireille to take down the boss just because I'd like to promote her if possible. I don't care too much about her actual stats, it's more that I just would like her to be promoted because promoting her gives her some really good bonuses. And anyway, we have Aerospate now, so in case Tom wants to never be able to move for the rest of an entire map, we can give that to him. Because that's how that works in this game. Yeah, sometimes I actually like to send Raffin over to where the boss is. Let's just get rid of you and get another kill on this Lance. I'm pretty sure this is the special Iron Lance with the kill count, even though it's probably not going to end up getting that high. But yeah, you don't need a lot of speed to take out enemies in this game. Naren's, not speed, I mean that is true too, but like not a lot of defense is what not a lot of strength is what I meant. And Naren's strength is complete overkill. 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. Let's see if I can sneak Raffin in here. Firstly, he's going to take a drive-by pylum on this guy. And I forgot to turn his animations on again. Maybe that means you'll see them for the first time against the boss. That'd be impressive. We do have one archer there, but, well... Okay, this is funny. I don't need to unlock the bridge with Runan just yet. I'm just going to actually park Tom here. Oh, I just had a silly idea. That went straight into the convoy and Runan's here. Oh boy, I've never really tried this before. Okay. Be very careful when you do this because Tom loses a lot of stats and he will not be able to move for the rest of the chapter the moment he does, so make sure you're committing. But, yeah, a negative 18 attack speed, everything is going to double him. But I may as well show this. He has unique animations for it too. And I guess he's probably thankful to finally be out of the tank. But yeah, he's out of the tank permanently now. Can't use anything but Aerospate, and he can't move. And his stats are bad now. So, yeah, that's a thing that can happen in this game. But it is actually somewhat useful in the next map. If only because it's good for breaking down a door. Which is really sad, but that is a legitimate use for Tom, and it's kind of why I have him on this route. Now, the good thing about that Wickenage is that that's going to mean that if she does kill with basic fire, she'll be gaining a lot of experience, because, as I said in her bio, I almost called it Aura again, even though it's not, but, yeah, Starlight is worth a lot of score. Why not? Not that I really need this, but, I mean, I'm just doing it because I've been screwed over in this chapter out of not having, somebody fully healed, so I'm just taking every precaution that I can. And yep, Lionheart and his men are very distracted by these guys. Very, very distracted. Unfortunately, they have a tendency to drop gold bags when defeated, so you do often lose items out of this, but, yeah, it's usually not that bad. And also they miss sometimes. Or all the time, if they're that guy. I'm gonna call him Useless Bob now. And that's Useless Bob's brother, Useless Bill. It actually kind of comes from there was like an old, very old, like, Let's Play of, Shining Force 1 that I was... No, that guy's just gonna run away. Okay then, like Shining Force 1 that I watched ages ago that I don't think ever got past like the first chapter or so, but like for some reason there was a character called Ken and they called him Useless Ken. Yeah, Shining Force, like, I don't... Yeah, it's an interesting game, but it has its eccentric... Like, in a way, I always feel like Shining Force is more like this game than Fire Emblem is, if that makes any sense. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Mariel is in meteor range if she goes there, but at the same time, as long as she takes out this guy successfully, which she might not, but if she does... I don't think... No, she's not going to die to Meteor, because Meteor's got, like, 19 attack power anyway. Gotta remind myself, turn on Raffin's battle animations, turn on Raffin's battle animations, turn on Raffin's battle animations. Oh, you... Ugh. I had a feeling that might happen. Which means... Yeah, so okay. That's really frustrating, actually, because I really wanted it, because, like, she is actually at risk of dying if that guy and Meteor both hit, so this is my last chance to not have to use Narron. It'll probably still hit, though. Yep, there we go. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Like... Gains strength on Tom twice, but can't gain strength on somebody with a 30% strength growth in over 10 levels. Tom's strength growth is 10, by the way, for those who don't know. Really, I am confused. I'm very confused. I don't know what to think about this. Oh, and I forgot to turn on Raffin's battle animations, because of course I forgot. Okay, I mean, yeah, like, his stats are not as, like, his raw stats aren't as high as Zeeg or Narron, but at the same time, they're just good enough to do what he needs to do, and he also is an 8-move flyer. Oh, some of the ruffians are getting away. I'm gonna need to deal with... I tried to say, like, in my head, I was thinking, deal with that, and then I was thinking, do something about that, and they move, like, Sometimes you think about saying two things at the same time, and in your head they combine into some kind of amalgamate monstrosity. That happens to me sometimes. But we got that guy's money. We got that guy's money. Maybe we're the real bandits here. Game theory. You were the real bandits in Fire Emblem all along. Anyway. There's really not a whole lot going on at this point, but things will change a little bit once Mince reaches the lower house, and I'll be able to talk about some stuff. Yeah. Well, yeah, Narron's already strong enough. I'm gonna put you there just to block that guy a bit. Are you ready to... Yes, you can enter that house, great. So, this is the house that I was thinking of. There doesn't seem to be a hint to this, but... If Mince visits this house, and Leonie escaped in the previous chapter, then you can recruit Leonie by visiting this house with Mince. Doing it this way gives Mince and Leonie a support with each other. Well, actually, they already had one, this just raises their support with each other. And Mince is pretty strong, so having a mutual support on him is nice. And Leonie doesn't really miss out much in terms of availability. It's really either just, like, joining at the end of the previous chapter, or, during this one, and it's not like she really would have contributed that much to this chapter anyway. So, with that, we finally have Leonie on our side. I'll just get this out of the way. Leonie is an archer est, and so she's automatically bad from an efficiency standpoint. However, to people who like training characters, she can be pretty fun. Firstly, she has flurry at base, and with a bow, that means she can one-round kill a lot of things without risk of damage. That already makes her better than Luca. She can be a little hard to train since she comes on Runan's route and doesn't learn Paragon until level 9, and since she can only really fight things on the player phase, she doesn't snowball quite as hard with Paragon as, say, Sasha and Narron do. But she is still a Paragon character, and she has some of the best growths in the game, outside of defense and HP. The real elephant in the room though is her 10% movement growth. It's a bit unreliable, but with how often she'll be leveling up, she can expect a few procs of this. I tried using her on my test playthrough, and she did end up being a pretty fun character for me. She basically becomes a bazooka on legs with her massive strength and potential really high movement, and with Flurry, that makes her a precision player phase assassin. She's especially effective against Draco zombies later on in the game. That said, she's still an archer, so she's obviously not nearly as worth training as most other Paragon characters. But like Bilford, she's somebody that if you're playing casually, I'd recommend sending over to Holmes' route of the next split and just grinding a little bit just to see if she gets movement procs. She can end up being pretty fun if she does.